Hello, friendly people of the internet. I am Hyper Super Sora, and welcome back to Remembering Avatar, where I talk about the Avatar: The Last Airbender episodes completely from my memory, and then I tell them about you, and then I watch the episode and see what I got wrong. Today we're tackling Siege of the North, Part 1. Now, by that Part 1, this is a multi-parter. 2 parts to be exact. And while I know generally how the parts go out, separating them is going to be the hard part. Because I think this episode starts with Sokka and Yue flirting, blah blah blah, going on a date on Appa. Yue is still being a flighty bitch. But, did I mention marriaging age in this world is 16? Yeesh. But yeah, they go fly on Appa and suddenly they figure out, oh shit, the Fire Nation's coming. Soot. Snow mixed with smoke. Soot. So they go back to warn the tribe. Yue tells Sokka to go fuck off again. And the chief announces that they basically have a suicide mission ready. Have people to volunteer, and Sokka's the first one to jump on that mission. I have no idea why he does this. Because without Yue, there's no life? Dumbass. You're with the Avatar. You'll get as many girls as you fucking need. But yeah. That happens. Sokka meets Yue's fiance? And it's kind of a parallel to him, since he has to meet basically a past version of himself, a parallel, duh. And yeah, he's a dickhead. While Sokka knows most things about the Fire Nation, even insulting the uniforms they have to infiltrate, since they're about 85 years out of date. And he does know the commanding officer, the uniforms they wear, the ranks they use, blah, blah, blah. And despite the fact that he knows all of this stuff, fights the fiancé, and he gets booted off the mission. Fine. Okay. Guess what happens to the fiancé later on? He dies! I know they put a fucking splash on that clip, but I don't fucking care where they were at on the ship. That wouldn't have been a splash. That would have been a splat. Yeah, he's dead. Deader than dead. Zhao killed him and didn't think any second thoughts about it. Anyway. The reason they got pulled off the mission actually is because he had a different mission. Protect Yue. Okay. Now, I've mainly been focusing on Sokka, but there are other parts to this. Zuko, who is infiltrating the Northern Water Tribe to go after Aang, has a tender moment with Uncle Iroh. Swimming in the Arctic water, that's a bad idea, if you're not a firebender, that is. Infiltrates to capture Aang. Now, I'm not sure if he captures Aang in this part or the next one. We'll say he does in this one. Because when that's happening... No, I think that's the next one. This is where it begins. So what is Aang doing during all of this? Well, first he's trying to fight the infinite number of ships that are, infinite. For every one he seems to take out, 3 more seem to take its place. And it's just like, you're the Avatar, you must do it. I'm just one kid. He's still 12 people. But he asks, hey, is there a spiritual place I can meditate so he can get some spiritual help? Yeah, they go to this place. And it's just like, hey, how about some peace and quiet? I'm trying to save the world over here. Meets Heibai again. And meets Roku again. Meets this new one called Ko the Face Stealer. He's a treat. And we only see him once. Because in a past life, he knew Aang. And they gave him plenty of warnings. Do not show any emotion around this guy. He is creepy. And not in the overly trying sense. He's just like, he is a very creepy character. He's just kind of like this centipede where this blinking eye changes out into faces. It's a very nice design. I like it. Does give information. And again, you show emotion. Takes your face. Takes the lover of one of the past avatars' face. The last water one before, Korra happens. Spoiler. Gets the information he needs. The koi fish in the pond. Oh, they are the spirits. Unfortunately, Zuko kidnapped. Aang during that. Fight ensue between Zuko and Katara, which this rising sun gave Zuko an edge. And Zhao comes, takes one of the moon or ocean spirits, I think it's the moon spirit, Tui-en-La, out of the water as the moon turns red and all the water bending stops. I think that's where part 1 ends, with Zuko having Aang and Zhao capturing the spirit. I think that's where part 1 ends. Now there are other stuff that happens in part 2 that I'm just not sure if it happens or not. This is the hard part about Multipirates. I remember what happened, but I have to separate the parts in my brain. It's just like, oh yeah, I remember this part, but that happened to that. So let's just watch the episode and see everything I missed and everything I got wrong. Yeah, so just got done watching the episode. And you remember how I said I might mix stuff up between part 1 and 2, so there might have been a spoiler warning somewhere or another via my own fat mouth? Zhao didn't even touch the water tribe. Well, I was about to say land, but it's mostly ice. No, there are some lands there because this big spiritual place they go, they have grass there. They have grass! You don't know what you have until it's gone. Yeah, so Zhao doesn't touch anything. He doesn't do anything this episode, pretty much. The soon-to-be son-in-law doesn't even die this episode. He's a dick. Sokka rightfully points that shit out and socks someone in the face. Ba-dum-ting. Because of it. And we see that Katara is basically a master at this point. And the future son-in-law, the foil for Sokka, he calls Sokka Soka. Like the fucking movie, and I was dying when I heard that, and I had to point that out. Will I talk about the movie? Eventually. But I just found that so funny. That they used an insult to make this character hateable. That they used for the fucking movie. God, I gotta put that in a script somewhere. But yeah, Zuko did capture Aang. Did go to the spirit world. He didn't do any of the spirit world things, he just entered. So yeah, I got that mixed up too. So yeah, a lot of wrong on my part. Not because I didn't remember the episode at all, it's that I remembered the next episode. Oops. Doesn't detract from Zuko telling that, for Iroh telling Zuko that he loved him like his own. And being a kind of nagging father, and Zuko being just like, I'll be fine. I love that. I fucking love that. This episode was also pretty goddamn beautiful in terms of visuals. Like that opening scene where you're underwater and then the camera pans up through the water to reveal the Northern Water Tribe. Beautiful. or the Spirit Oasis, as I think I'm going to call it. That place, gorgeous. Again, they got grass. We can touch it. You want to do that after I get done recording this. Anyway. Anything I can really say? Firebenders rise with the sun, although they're attacking during the day. And waterbenders rise with the night. Sun, moon, blah, blah, blah. So it makes sense for the water tribe to attack during nightfall. Why they're not doing that, I don't know. Probably because people, need to sleep. We don't see anyone sleep this episode. An entire day has gone by. But then again, I pretty much stay up all night and all day when we have the guys over, so what do I know? Sleep, overrated. Imagine how much shit I could get done if I didn't need to sleep. Like that one fucking Teen Titans episode where Cyborg just turns off sleep. It's just like, why can't I do that? Side tangent aside. This episode was actually pretty goddamn good. Like, this is a good setup for the finale. Now, here's the problem. Yes, it is setup. It's mostly setup. There are some good action scenes. There are some good pays off. But this episode ends, as any good part one should end with, oh my god, what's going to happen next? With Zuko, with Aang on his back, walking into the Arctic tundra. What was his plan? I'll tell you what his plan was. His plan is that he didn't have one. So, Zuko died almost like four or 5 times just trying to get to Aang. Then almost died twice fighting Katara. And now is going to almost die again in that blizzard that's coming. And almost going to die again if Team Avatar doesn't rescue him in the next part. Yeah. I have to say, while this episode is good, it's real good, the real meat is in the next part. There's not much I can really sink my teeth into and really critically analyze. Analyze, is that a word? I don't care. Also, one thing I'd like to point out. One, the foil for Sokka is the one who's marrying Yue. Yeah, he's a dick. He's a Chad. Oh, boy. Which, on normal circumstances, which means that everybody and their mothers would want to fuck him. But Yue, doing what every other writer did for so long, is just like, nah, give him to Sokka. He's doing all the wrong things, but reward him anyway. Anyway. Let's see. Where did I go off before I started insulting Sokka? Yeah, foil for Sokka. Marrying Yue. He's a dick. Sokka punches him in the face because of it. And his punishment is to protect Princess Yue. Okay. Really, the chief brought him off the mission for that reason, not the other. But my thought process when that happened was, why didn't he ask the son-in-law to do that? Something tells me he doesn't like the son-in-law that much in particular either, and this is purely a political marriage. So it was doomed for failure at the start. I pegged this guy right on the money. This guy is part of some high class, rich as fuck, water tribe family, or something like that. And they were getting pressure or something like that. Probably having some good business or anything. And for a marriage between the royal family and them, yada yada yada. And their probably disappointment of a son gets who would probably be the best wife in the water tribe. Lovely. Oh yeah, my point. I found it. It's at the end of the stick. Who knew? yeah, Sokka and Yue are running up some stairs trying to inform people about, the Fire Nation is coming. The Fire Nation is coming. And she's telling him, again, the fuck off. Not that she can't meet him anymore. And it's just like, I'm thinking, now is not the time. The time is for war right now. You may never get to see me again if I die in that. Which, again, he tries to. He volunteers. He's the first one to volunteer for the suicide mission. And that's what it is. It's a suicide mission. Again, making fun of the old uniforms. But this, again, was a good episode. I recommend it. But what did you guys think of this episode? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. And thank you for 100 subscribers. I got something planned. But thank you so much, all 100 of you who decided to subscribe and watch my stupid channel where I talk about Avatar for some reason. Anyway, and hit that little notification bell to see when I upload all the time. Until next time, I've been Hyper Super Sora. Sayonara.